All right, everyone. I actually just realized I didn't make a video for this assignment, so with this worksheet. So let's go ahead and get with it. I know the answer that I put forth already has these answers, but I mean, we can go through it really quick, right? So f of 7. So both of these functions are f. Okay, but we want the number 7 for the x, and if you look between x is greater than 4 or x is less than or equal to 4, we want to use x is greater than 4 because 7 is bigger than 4. So we're going to use 7 into this top equation. So it'd be 3 times 7, right? So it'd be 3 times 7 minus 5, which is 21 minus 5. And the answer is 16, right? So that's the idea. Okay, this next one, we want f of 4. And because it's the x is 4, we want to utilize this because this right here tells you x is equal to 4 because that underline. Up here, it says x is just bigger than 4. So we want to use the bottom equation. And if we're using the bottom equation, we're going to be using the 4 into the x squared. So this will be equal to 4 squared, which is actually equal to 16 also, just like the first one. The last one, we want f is f of negative 3. And negative 3 is actually less than 4. So we're going to use this equation again. So this is going to be equal to negative 3 squared. And I'm putting parentheses around this because some of you guys are using calculators. And if you put it into calculator, you need to put it in this way, which will get you positive 9. Okay, same thing here. Again, I already kind of showed you the answer or how to find the answers. So, right, so 10. So where is the 10? Well, 10 is bigger than 3 right here. So we're going to use this equation. So this will be equal to 6 minus 2 times 10. 6 minus 20, because 6 times 20. And this will get you negative 14. Okay. Next, we got f of 2. Okay, f of 2. So where does 2, in which domain is 2, right? Well, 2 lives actually between 1 and 3. So that means we're going to utilize this equation. So f of 2, and we're going to put it in 2 in place of x, which there is no x. So my answer is just going to be 3. Lastly, we're going to use 0, and 0 is actually less than 1. So we're going to utilize the top equation. So this is going to be equal to negative 2, absolute value of 0 plus 1. You're going to work it out. Negative 2, absolute value 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 2, and then absolute value of 1 is 1. And then negative 2 times 1 is 1. Or, sorry, 2. Actually, negative 2. Sorry, brain fart. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a line for my x-axis and my y-axis. So that's my y-axis. This is my x-axis. Right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and group it. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it so I can put it on this one right here as well. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. Okay, so if I'm graphing f of x equals negative 2, it's going to look like this. That's what f of x equals negative 2 looks like. Okay, but I only want it for values of x that are less than 0, which means I want everything on the left side. Okay, and I want it less than 0. I don't even want it as 0, so I can't actually have it going through 0. I actually need to exaggerate and draw a big old dot right here. Okay, it's going to be open circle. Okay, my second one, I want the functions be equal to 3, which if you're graphing f of x equals 3, you're talking about this line here. but I only want this for 0 and bigger than 0, which means I want everything on the right hand side only. And actually, I actually want 0 as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and exaggerate and draw a big old fat dot right there. Okay. 8. Let's start with negative x plus 2, right? So here's positive 2. Negative x is just the line that goes diagonally down. Let me read that. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So it actually looks like this. Okay. But so that's that one right there. But we want it only for x that's less than 2. So less than 2 means that we're talking about right here. Okay, we want everything that's on the left hand of 2. See how it's not underlined? That means that we want it to be not equal to 2. So we're going to draw an open circle. Okay, this one's going to be x minus 2. So minus 2 is down here. And it'll be up 1 over 1. So it will look kind of like this. Okay. Now we only want it for, so this one, so this equation, we only want it for values of 2 and greater, which means that at 2, we actually want it there. So we're going to fill in that dot. And we only want it for greater than that. So that means that everything that's less than 2, we're going to erase. So that's our picture. That's our graph right there. Okay, this one. Let me do my x and y axis again. Actually, I'm going to do a little better one. So that's my y. That's my x. I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Group it. Go ahead and clone it. Right there. We'll start with those two. Okay. This one, first equation, h of x equals negative 3x plus 2. So that means we're going to start out positive 2, and negative 3x means down 3 over 1. Okay, you're going to keep doing that, down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. You get the idea. And then you're going to go opposite direction as well. Okay, so this is your graph right here. Okay, but I only want it for values of 2 and less. So values of 2. So 2 is right there. And I want less than that. So basically everything on the left-hand side of that positive 2. Because here's 2. Everything left is going to be right there. Okay. Okay. So next one is negative 4. And it's going to be up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. You get the idea. So it's going to be this line right here. Okay. So 1/2 x minus 4. That's the blue line. And I only want it for 2. Actually, greater than 2. I don't even want it at 2. So anything that's smaller than 2, I'm going to erase. Anything smaller than 2, I'm going to erase. And actually, I don't even want... Oops. And actually, I don't even want it at 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do a big fat open circle at 2. like that, right? Okay. We're going to start off with 4, just this line here. And I'm going to do 2 of them at once, right? So we want values that are less than or equal to -2. So -2, I want less. So here's -2 right here. So I want less than that. Okay. So that means that and it's equal to, so I want to go ahead and exaggerate that there's a big fat dot. And actually there's another one, 4, and I want it for values that are 2 and bigger. So that means that I'm going to go all the way up to 2, and I want to count that spot as well. Okay, so that takes care of both of them. Okay, the middle one is x squared. X squared looks like this. It starts in the middle, goes up 1 over 1, or over 1 up 1, over 2 up 4. Oh wow, over 2 up 4, over 3 up 9, over 3, and to the left 3 up 9. So your x squared looks like this. Okay, but I only want it between -2 and 2, and I don't want it to count between -2 and 2. So that means that I don't want anything less than -2, and I don't want anything bigger than -2. Okay, and actually I don't even want to count -2 or +2. So I'm going to draw a big fat open circle here, and a big fat open circle here. But because some of it's open and some of it's closed, it's actually going to cover each other up, and it's going to end up being closed. Okay, so last couple ones. This one I'm going to draw right in the middle. That's my y-axis. And since I have to go all the way up to +12, I'm going to go ahead and draw this line pretty far down here. Okay, that's my x and y axis. All right, so first equation, g of x equals 3x plus 12. So I have to go start at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 3x means I'm going to go up 3 and over 1, which means the opposite, I'm going to go down 3 and over 1. Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. So it's this line right here. Yeah, more or less. I kind of missed it, but okay. And we only want it between negative or less than or equal to -3. So I'm gonna go to -3. So -3 is right here, and I want to go and erase everything to the right of that because I only want less than or equal to -3, which means that it should be right there. Okay, next one. We have absolute value of x. Absolute value of x looks like this. So it's in the center, and then, oops. So it's in the center, and then it's over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. So it's basically just going to be 2 lines. So it's going to end up looking like this. Okay. But I only want it between -3 and +3 and not any smaller. So not any smaller. So I'm going to erase everything that's smaller. And not any bigger. So I'm going to erase everything bigger than 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to erase everything that's on this side. And I don't actually want those. So I'm actually going to make it open circle. But remember that red part, it already has a closed circle. So it actually fills it in. So this one's open circle. Open circle both at -3 and +3. And the blue part, right? This is +12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's going to be -3x, meaning down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Wow. Down 3 over 1. So it fits perfectly. Down 3 over 1. And the opposite up 3 left 1. So it's actually going to make this graph right here. Okay, but I only want it for values of 3 and bigger. So that means values of 3, 1, 2, 3. I want it there, and I want it on the bigger side, which is on the right-hand side. So that means everything on the left-hand side, I'm going to go erase, and that's where I'm left with. Okay, the last one. This one looks like we need to have a little heavier on the top. So maybe like that. Okay, so this one's x squared minus 4. It's going to start here, and it's going to be x squared, which means that it's going to be over 1 up 1, over 1 up 1, over 2 up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, left 2 and right 4, or up 4. Over 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 9. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means it's the same thing on the left side. So we will have something that looks like this. Okay, but I only want it for less than 3, meaning if I take my eraser, I'm going to erase everything less than 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to erase everything bigger than 3. Okay, so I only want, oh, and actually I don't even want 3, so I'm going to erase that. I'm going to put a big old fat circle there, or open circle. Okay, the last one. Got 2/3 x minus 5. So we're going to start at negative 5. So this one was negative 4. So we'll start here. 2/3 means up 2 and over 3. Up 2 and over 3. Up 2 and over 3. The same thing, down 2 and left 3. Down 2 and left 3. So you're going to get this line here. Okay, but we only want it for values of x that are bigger than or equal to 3. So bigger than 3. So 3 is right there. 1, 2, 3. So we want bigger only. So we don't want anything less than that. And we're going to go ahead and we want it equal to 3. So we're going to go ahead and draw a big old fat dot right there. That right there is my last graph. Okay. So which of the piece, number 13, are continuous? Continuous means that you can go from left to right without lifting your pencil up or pen. So if you look at these, okay, 7 is not, because if I start here, I have to lift my pen up and then continue. So 7 is not. Okay, although 8 is, I can go right on through. So 8. 9 is not, because 9 there's a jump. 10 is, because I can go right on through. So 8, 10, and 11, because 11 I can just trace that M without lifting my pencil up. So 8, 10, 11. Right, so which piecewise function? It's going to be 8, 10, and 11. Okay, and if you look the rest, which ones are discontinuous, right? So that leaves us with 7, 9, and 12. Okay.